Today is the day I am setting up my new bullet journal for 2022. And this setup may come as a surprise to some of you because in my last video, I said that I wouldn't be setting up my new journal for the rest of the year until August. But things have changed. I recently got news that I got a new job and I'm starting in the middle of July, which is really exciting, but I also want to make sure that I have a fresh new journal ready for my fresh new start to my fresh new job. So that is what we are going to be doing today. I'm going to be showing you guys how I set up said new journal for the rest of 2022, and this setup is really fun. It's really simple, quick, and easy. I think it took me under an hour, and I also really enjoyed getting back into hand lettering with this setup. I think it's been over a year since I've touched my brush pen, so it was really fun being able to get creative and use those again as well. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Make sure to grab a cozy blanket, a beverage. I have an iced matcha latte beside me. I recently discovered matcha and it's my new obsession. I absolutely love having them in the morning. And grab yourself whatever drink you love, whether that's matcha or something else, and let's just jump into this journal setup. So I'm starting off by just setting up a couple staple pages in my journal. The first one being the key. This is just a small version of what my bullet journal key looks like, but it has most of the general things that you see in bullet journal keys, such as a task bullet, an event bullet, a note bullet, and I also added in the custom signifiers I use. The only one I have here is my deadline signifier, which is a triangle. So I just wrote those down underneath the hand lettered title key, and I put a nice little border around it, and on the outside of that border I'm counting out how many squares horizontally and vertically there are in this journal, just so I can reference how many boxes there are in case I'm making a new spread and I need to do some quick math to figure out the dimensions I need. I actually don't create a grid spacing page. I know this might sound weird, but I like having to figure out how many boxes I need. I figured that the mental math and brain strain is good for my noggin. So yeah, I just write the basic horizontal and vertical measurements, and that works well enough for me. After the key, I'm going ahead and setting up my index. This is something I didn't include in my previous journal, and I really started to regret it when I was working freelance and had a lot of different projects and notes, and I'd be trying to reference them, and I'd be like flipping through my journal for 10 minutes trying to find the specific note I needed, and then I wouldn't be able to find it because I didn't have page numbers to index said note. So this time I am correcting my mistake, I am changing my ways, and I'm giving myself 3 pages for the index. And later, after this setup, I'm gonna go in and number my pages because this notebook unfortunately doesn't come with page numbers, but it's all good. I'm just gonna sit down with some tea and watch Naruto and number my bullet journal, and I'll make it a fun time. But yeah, I didn't want to do that in this setup and make you guys watch that. But after my index, we are now moving on to kind of the main yearly setup for this journal. And I'm starting off my yearly setup by creating a cover page to kind of act as a divider, showing where the actual journal starts in this notebook. I really like to add decoration to my cover pages. I like to joke to myself that this is where my decorating starts and stops in my bullet journal, because I do really love to keep my spreads super simple, just so that I can focus on getting the stuff out of my brain onto the page and, you know, reducing overwhelm, because that's a big reason why I use my bullet journal. But I do still really like having fun with the cover page, and I love to add quotes and do some lettering, and I also really love adding some of my favorite stickers from La Dolce Vita. This time I decided to add a quote at the bottom of my cover page. This is a quote from one of my favorite books, The Hobbit, and this is something that one of the main characters says near the end of the book. It's actually the title of a walking song that he comes up with. So to kind of go with that theme of hiking and walking songs, I picked a La Dolce Vita sticker of a girl hiking because I thought that was the only logical thing to do in this case. After my cover page, I am turning the page over and setting up my future log. I had a lot of fun creating this hand-lettered header that says 2022 future log, and I was really excited to be able to find this brown brush pen in my brush pen stash because I do really love using browns whenever possible in my bullet journal just to kind of create that cozy, relaxing environment. And for this future log, I'm going to include only future tasks and projects, since I prefer to include dates and appointments in a digital calendar. I'm a big fan of using my Google Calendar as kind of my everyday scheduling tool, and I love using it alongside my bullet journal so I can kind of get the best benefits of the digital and analog ecosystem at the same time. So I'm giving myself 2 pages for my future log this year, just to make sure I have plenty of room for all the different projects I plan to do throughout the rest of 2022. And after I finish up the future log, I am moving on to the last spread of this setup, which is a new one for me. This is a when did I last spread. The purpose of these types of spreads is to essentially have a list of items that you don't need to do every month. Maybe it's every 2 months or 6 months, and this kind of acts as an area to record when you last did whatever thing it is. So I'm adding things here like changing out my toothbrush, cleaning out my closet, as well as backing up my computer. Just small little things that can sometimes slip off the radar because they don't happen as frequently, and I'm hoping this spread will help me remember to be a little more on top of doing these things. And with that spread out of the way, we have come to the end of my yearly setup for my mid-year 2022 bullet journal setup. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my setup that I did for this year, and I will see you all in all the future journal with me's I'll be doing in this notebook. Bye everyone!
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know.